Many years ago in my local church, there was a guy, very fireized guy. In fact, this guy taught me the acrobatics of prayer, the head movements, the body movements. Then we'll have stretches like being in church for 3 days. I was a youth esco in the youth ministry in the church. So he'd teach and tell me, until you feel like you want to die, like your belly wants to cut, you've not started praying. It's when you feel like that. And me, I will put in the strength. I was about 18 or 19. I would pray, I would bend, I would growl, I would shout. But this guy told me that it's until you feel it, there's a knot in your belly, it will be like you want to pass out. That's when you know you started praying. I took heed because this guy was a prayer machine. So I took heed and I learned the acrobatics of prayer. Every single time we prayed, I looked forward to that knot in my belly as the sign that I was praying correctly. Until I was in pain physically, I didn't think I had prayed. This same guy would also advise me at certain times that I was doing too much in God's house, that I was serving too hard, because then I was in about 8 departments. Originally, I was in 2 departments, but I served in over 8 departments. I was everywhere. Choir, drama, dance, sanctuary, decoration. I was everywhere. And there was nothing you'd say you wanted done in God's house. As far as I heard, I'll come forward and join people doing it. If there was no one, I would start the team of people that would do it. And I was so young. It was just about a responsibility for my father's house. I didn't know there were consequences to serving. I didn't know there were blessings. I didn't know the spiritual implications of what I was doing. I was just busy. I loved it so much. Church was my second house. I could express myself. So this guy would tell me, you are doing too much. He will tell me about himself that he's very anointed and he cannot be found doing all these things, going about and everything. And he's just waiting patiently for the day they'll give him mic to preach. And that day, the whole church will be surprised at what they will see. Sometimes you'd have some ministrations in some neighboring churches. He'll come back and say, if you see what happened, people were falling, this and that. But you'd never see him serving like me and some other people did. We're doing menial jobs, so to speak, in the house of God. We're doing the grassroots. It was never about the big stage. All my years, any church I join, I'll do the most. When you want to look for somebody doing the most, it's me. And many of the times, no one knows I'm the one doing it. I would penetrate departments, bring ideas, help execute them, and never be on the stage to collect the glory. It was never about it. And this is one thing that guy from my past also told me, that all these things I was doing, who knows about them? Does pastor see me? Does he congratulate me or tell me how you're doing well? I'm just busy without commendation or anything. People are supposed to see what I'm doing. Then I would say, he's true. They're supposed to really see me. I'll feel a certain kind of way. But because it wasn't my true identity, it wasn't part of my makeup to seek self-glory. And the same way nobody will congratulate me for sweeping my house, that's the same way it will be weird to be congratulated for doing my job in God's house. It was the same thing to me. I'm saying this story to tell you that most people want to have the big stage first before they put in their best. It's in the place of service God can trust you. It's in the place of service that you get pruned. If you do not serve a vision or serve a man, you will not learn enough for your own ministry. Anointing is a gift, character is built, and trust is earned. It is in your years of service you develop character. Sometimes God will place you under a very mean boss or a very mean senior pastor. He's pruning you. Stay there. Learn what you need to learn. Grow a thick skin. It's not about the person you are serving. It's always about God. I look beyond my direct boss all the time. I honor them. I respect them. But I never lose consciousness that this work is my Father's work. And I'm serving actually my Father. I'm serving God. So some people are anointed, want the big stage fast. They never want to go through the process. It is in the process you grow in wisdom. You grow in knowledge. Your skill is sharpened. In the parable of the talents, when the master came back, he gave them talents according to their ability. Meaning the capacity you have is how they gave you talent. But when the master came back and found that some people, after they had worked on the small given to them, they multiplied it. Their ability multiplied as well as the talents that they gave them. It was a win-win for them and their boss. So even when the boss came, they gave him the glory, they gave him their profit, they gave him everything. But their ability was still theirs. I am growing within as far as I'm laboring in God's vineyard. When the opportunity comes for the big stage, it's not going to meet somebody that will embarrass God at that level, because you have gone through a process. You've been pruned, you have learned, you have worked on your weaknesses, you have cried, you have laughed, you have grown. So God can trust souls into your hand. The process is very, very also important. That brother as I speak to you that was giving me all the advice in the world back then, I don't even know anything about him. I don't know if he ever got the opportunity to have a mic to minister so I can show everybody how anointed he is. It has little to do with anointing. Anointing will take you there, but you see the process to getting up there is what will determine if you stay up there or not. So everything you find doing, do it well. Do it as unto the Lord. You have to follow if you indeed want to lead. The knowledge and the growth and the experiences I have from serving is actually what is making me stand firm today. And I am still serving, because this is just a tip of the iceberg. If I really want to get to where the Lord is taking me, I should be able to serve those that are ahead of me. Serve them in all humility. Serve them with all my heart, because everything I do unto them, I do as unto the Lord.